What is it that cults prefer? What is it that they like? They prefer to have enemies. Why? Why do cults love enemies? It doesn't seem rational, right? But for a cult, it is rational to have an enemy. Because a cult, when the cult has enemies, it unifies the people who follow the cult. They feel threatened and they are preoccupied with the idea of how to fight the enemy. So, enemies is a way to unify the people who follow the cult. The other reason that cults love enemies is that whenever the cults have enemies, the people who follow the cults do not ask questions about the cult itself. They don't self-examine their own ideology. They are preoccupied with fighting the enemy. So cults, the way for cults to survive best is to have enemies. And cults prefer to have enemies. Israel is a cult. And Israel loves to have enemies. If you look at it, ever since the creation of the State of Israel, it had multiple enemies, multiple wars, and the Jewish people of Israel, those who follow the cult of Israel, whenever they have a war, they are unified. They're unified behind the cult. And Israel likes to have cults, Israel loves to have wars because the war itself precludes the people of Israel asking questions. Why do we need a Jewish state? It is being demonstrated to them that a Jewish state is necessary. In other words, the question for them is irrelevant because they see that they have enemies. So it's in Israel's interest to have enemies. You see, Israel really doesn't care about the Jewish people in Israel. It cares about the idea of a Jewish state. It cares about Zionism. It doesn't really care about the people who it's supposedly meant to protect. How do we know that? It's because it doesn't devote a penny to peace. It doesn't have any program for peace. All its powers, all of its energy is to wars. If it wanted to protect its people, it would have spent at least as much energy, as much resources towards peace. But they understand that peace is the enemy of the Jewish state. Peace will break the Israeli society apart because they will have time to think about what's the purpose of having a Jewish state. So Israel must maintain enemies. And we see that happening. 77 years of proof and almost zero resources towards peace. All of the resources are towards wars. So Israel is a danger to the Jewish people. It's also a danger to the Palestinian people. But the Palestinian people are serving the needs of Israel to have enemies. Israel is incapable of making peace with the Palestinians because peace with the Palestinians would mean the end of Israel as a Jewish state, the way they see it. So, if you care about the Jewish people in Israel or the Palestinian people in Palestine and in Israel, you should support the idea of a federal government in Israel-Palestine, because this government would be independent of the Israeli or the Palestinian people. It would be elected by the people of Israel and Palestine in 300 districts based on an election, based on legitimacy, based on their responsibility. They would be responsible to make peace, because it would not be an Israeli government. It would not be a Palestinian government. It would be a government for the people of Israel and Palestine together. And they will have the legitimacy given to it from elections, and they will have the responsibility to fulfill their promise to make peace. They will have to swear allegiance to the common constitution of Israel-Palestine for the purpose of making peace. It's not going to be a cult, because it's going to be responsible to the people themselves. It's not going to use the people in order to, as a resource for war. It's going to be serving the people to give them peace and prosperity. Thank you.